So, India is going through a transition. We are talking phenomenal growth, and we have a target to become the third largest economy by 2047. When I say we have a target. Next 21 years are the years of Gen Z. And you will be driving the nation towards that target, that place where we want to go. Now it is very important to understand that you will have to empower yourself mentally to reach there. And in that, you will have to also take the next generations, the alphas and betas along with you. You also have to train them, guide them to a level that probably 20-25 years later, they are on the driving seat. The driving seat has to change. Right now it could be partly Gen X, partly millennials. Now it has to come on to you. You will have to drive. So the first thing that comes in my mind is, have you decided on what will be your contribution in that third largest economy growth? What will you do? We're talking transition, we're talking Gen Z, we're talking all the beautiful things about your generation. If we've not thought till now, now is the moment. Not today evening also. Now is the moment we decide what we will do. Right? Then we can say Gen Z is great. Okay. Gen Z is great, Patu, don't worry. But yeah, we need to understand that, and we need to mentally believe in that. I believe in you. I totally believe in you. I totally believe that Gen Z is one generation which is going to take India to the third largest economy of the world. Question is, do you believe? Do you believe in that? Or is it just a fantasy? Do you believe in that, Gen Z?
Yes, sir.
So that is the point where it starts. Whether we in the first place believe that we can and we will, only then the driver's seat belongs to you. And then they say Gen Z is lazy, Gen Z is rude, Gen Z doesn't know how to talk, Gen Z wants everything on the platter, they are careless about their career, careless about the social life, they just think about themselves, all they have is friends. You've heard this, right? Somewhere? People are always judging you. All the time they're judging you. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? We are good. But people are. And to some extent that might be right. People want a promotion in 1 year after joining a job. How do you get a promotion in 1 year? Right? That's a question people ask today in the corporate. These people want a rejuvenation break after a breakup. I mean, come on. ECAD. What is this? They want that kind of break. They want to leave by 6 p.m. in the evening because they have to go on a date. And they say it. We have to go on a date. 6:30 is the date. 6 ho gaya hai, I leave. The boss is saying there is some work to do. I don't know. The time is 6, I'm leaving. I'm not doing anything wrong. And then the blame comes up. I am talking paradigm shift by Gen Z in human evolution. And people might ask, what are you talking? What paradigm shift? They are so irresponsible. They don't care about the work that has been given to them to finish it properly. People have a problem. People, when I say people, when I say they, of course it means my kind of people also, the Gen X, also the millennials. They're judging you. They're like, how can you make a PPT in 10 minutes? There must be some fault. And there are some minor faults. As I said, you have to see the PPT after you derive it from ChatGPT or Gamma or whatever, Canva. You bring it there, you have it in front of you. Now come on, use your common sense. ChatGPT, when it gives you a PPT, has double bullets. At least if you remove that bullet, At least do that much. And add your fingerprint, your personal opinion in that PPT. Isn't that right? You have to do that. Come on, just once now the work has been done in 10, 15, 20 minutes, come on, give 10 minutes more to make it relevant from the point of view that you wanted to make it. That much has to be done. You are given a wonderful facility. Why can't we use it? People are writing emails through ChatGPT. Now that's a question mark. I'm sorry. People were writing essays in school through ChatGPT or internet, and now they're writing emails. But that's a question mark, because then you are certainly surrendering your human intelligence and brilliance to AI. That is not time saved. Because that time saved, energy saved, the question might be asked, at what cost? At what cost? You saved some time, alright. You did a work faster, alright. At what cost? Not at the cost of you being imprisoned by a wonderful tool called ChatGPT, AI, and whatever. Of course, AI is doing much more than just this. Much more interventions AI has brought in. But what is my human angle in that is the point. But yes, people are saying this. People are saying they're careless. As I said, people are saying they're not responsible. In the corporate also, in this scenario, people are saying they're irresponsible. They leave, they don't come tomorrow, next day, and they inform in the morning that I'm not coming. And they're very fine with it. Now, this discipline we are used to in a particular way. Since childhood, we were given this discipline to follow. But I have an objection, Your Honor. I say, these kids are good. These kids are fantastic. But you have to understand where they come from. The vantage point of these kids. Where they come from. Where they come from? They come from families, so of course not all, but many, surely enough many. They come from families where husbands and wives, the mother and the father, both are working. They were brought alone. They came from nuclear families. Right? They were brought alone. And both of them have workplace stress. Even if only the father was working, we see around workplace stress. Somewhere an equation is brought in that work is equal to stress. How can you blame the Gen Z for that? This equation was brought in. They saw a lot of conflict between parents and people around. Within the home, outside the home. They see a lot of conflict. And they're used to that conflict. They're like, yeah, alright. Okay, this is the way. What do you expect from a child who's seeing this from beginning? This guy is brought in the same way. And on top of this workplace stress, there's another thing. Parents have done everything to make your life easy. Affluent parenting is what I call. Today, most of the kids have a car since childhood, the family that is. They have their iPhone, even if it was bought on EMI, as is the case in India, but they have an iPhone. They have other beautiful things. They go on holidays, even if that holiday was sourced by an EMI. But they go on a holiday. The kid doesn't know. The kid sees affluence. The parents say, we have money, don't worry, don't take stress. I have seen a lot of stress, I don't want you to take stress. Not everybody is good with studies. Not everybody who is good with studies and has degrees gets a job. You don't worry, I'm there. Don't take stress. There are cases that I know where parents come with their children in the interview. This is a fact, by the way. A well-established fact. Confirmed to me by so many HR people. Because I come from that area, people say that. Parent ke saath aate. And the parent is later on torturing. Why have you made my child wait for so long? This is work. It can get delayed. If the time is 6 o'clock and the boss is calling you at 5:30, there must be something urgent. Otherwise this guy won't call you. There must be something urgent. Nobody has a habit to torture, but the parent somewhere at that level, is kind of making the child very casual. Okay, don't worry. So then, if you tell a Gen Z today, the complaint from the market, if you tell a Gen Z today something, you scold or reprimand, this guy doesn't come from tomorrow. He leaves the job, he or she. Now this guy, compared to our generation, we were brought in with a feeling, what will happen to you tomorrow? You might as well study. You might as well don't play. Just study so that you get your degrees and you get your jobs so that you have some purpose for the retirement. You have to do it on your own. Today the child is told, don't worry. You have to do something. You have to do something great. Don't worry. You have to, but if it doesn't happen, don't take workplace stress. I have spent my 20-30 years taking stress. I don't want you to take that stress. That's the mindset with which the child is brought in. That's a concern. Right? That is a concern and not a concern. Why? Because when this child is growing up, this guy is very courageous. On one hand, this guy is leaving the job at the drop of a hat. On the other hand, this guy is very creative. And creativity needs courage. Without courage, there is no creativity. You have to take those risks. If this happens, if that happens, let's see what happens, let's see, let's try. It's all trial and error in creativity. And the creativity we see coupled with technology is like amazing that you guys can bring on the table. And that's why I say you are going to be on the driver's seat for tomorrow's success in India. But people say Gen Zs are not interested in doing jobs. Millennials are not really continuing with the job. Who is going to lead corporate India in 20 years? That's a question. That's a very valid question. I don't have an answer for that, but certainly a question that we all need to talk about. That if you guys are not interested in work and maybe you have some kind of shortcuts towards earning money, then what kind of things we're talking about 15-20 years from today? Where do we see ourselves 15-20 years from today? That's a question mark. Nevertheless, things are still fine, things are still okay because you guys have a beautiful, beautiful approach towards life. Right. So here, statistically speaking, by 2030, Gen Z will be making 30% of the workforce. Right? That's a study. These studies that I'm mentioning here are given by Deloitte, by Times of India, Economic Times, and a couple of other websites. All of this is researched data. 92% of Gen Z graduates want to discuss mental health. Now that's the beauty. That's the beauty. You want to prioritize mental health, which we were not. We were told you have the time to come to the office, you don't have the time to go back. Whenever the boss leaves you, you go. Today these people say, I have to go. 6 o'clock, I'm done. Right? That is a change. Because mental health, including physical health, including eating habits, thanks to all the internet data, is a big priority today. I am very happy. You don't have to work like slaves. You refuse to work like slaves. And that's the beautiful part. That's the beautiful part. You don't want to work like slaves. Why? Because somewhere you saw your parents working as slaves. Even your father coming back home and still talking to his boss and the boss shouting at him, like, this is not the life I want to live. This is what you have seen in your childhood. And so this is not for everybody, as I said. This is surely for a large amount of Indian Gen Zs today, that the kind of workplace stress they've seen amongst parents, they don't want to take it, neither their parents want them to take it, and there is a very good collaboration on that front. What is the solution further on? There's still a question mark, but surely we know what not to do. And that's the beginning of what to do. When you know what not to do. That's the beauty. That's where it starts. Then, Gen Zs don't wait for a company training calendar. They have their own courses, some certification, some AI tools, internet, something or the other is going on all the time. Even Instagram keeps sending some courses. You guys do it. You take those certifications, 3-day course, 7-day course, 1-month course, evening hours, you do it and you get those certifications. You want to learn Python, you can learn online. You don't need to go to an institute. Of course, when you go to an institute, it's good. Otherwise, people learn Python and all kind of coding and all kind of other, tools, AI tools, to beautify, let's say, a picture, to add value to a picture, to a video. You guys can do it, and that's what is beautiful about you, and that what gives that promise about tomorrow when we talk about Gen Z. Surely it does. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't give it for everybody, but surely a large amount of people. Guys, we were very, what do you call it? A routine kind of generation, because our priority was salary, our priority was income, our priority was retirement corpus, and our priority was children studying, higher education. So that was a priority, because of which, even under stress, we did not leave our jobs. We remained in stress, and the bosses knew this guy won't go anywhere. And the bosses also used all kind of language, all kind of stress, pressure. This is, and certainly was, very much prominent all across. That stress was there. People started all kind of things to remove that stress. What happened was, but that this happened in front of children, including the language. That's a concern. The concern is, when you watch OTT with your children, that particular, I don't want to name the movies, where all kind of abusive language is used. They want to see. It's okay. So what? So what? This is a child. We were not, brought with that culture. They're like, of course we have to see. This guy also knows all the words, the special words. It's okay. So that is a shift that has come up. People drinking, people smoking. Today we see at very young age, kids are drinking. And they find it very cool to drink. And the parents are drinking. The parents are drinking with the children. Love marriages are very common today. It started with our generation. Thank you. You can say thank you. No? It started with our generation. With due respect to parents, the parents also helped us with that. Right. That. So, 70% of Gen Zs graduates expect to be promoted within the first 18 months. So that's a question mark again. You can't get promoted. And lastly, Gen Zs expect a straightforward answer, straightforward communication. That's very important. Yeah, whatever you want to say, say straight. We are open for it. We want to talk to you straight, you talk to us straight. That's it. So that is why I believe, while the world is changing, is the world ready for Gen Z? That is what India has to see. As it wants to grow, India has to see, are we ready for Gen Z to bring a revolution in human evolution and bring a paradigm shift? Thank you very much. Yo Gen Z, yo. Jai Hind. Bye-bye.